Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. All right, our previous exercise we discussed about the operation sequence of this particular logic, that is ATS with a remote. Okay, now this time we are going to simulate the logic. All right, but before then, let's just do a recap about the previous explanation. Now, conventionally, ATS does not have a specific features. It is the end user requirement. We design ATS based on end user requirement. Okay. So let me now explain this. Then we now talk about the other features that is added. Okay. Now this portion, as you know before, is my utility supply. This other portion now is my standby supply. Now here now is my K1, K2 and the load. Whichever one closes will give me output load. Okay. All right, now we added two features. One is the remote control here to control the genset. Another one is timer function to control the same genset. The reason is this particular logic is for the standby supply. The standby supply will shut down, but it will be subject to the availability of the utility supply. It cannot shut down until utility is available to shut it down. Now, end user will now have to walk down to where the ATS is situated to shut it down when the utility is not forthcoming, right? So the stress of you going down to where the ATS is being installed to shut it down is what prompt up these particular features we added, being the remote control and the timer function. So you can now shut down the ATS while sitting in your sitting room, all right, at your convenient in the comfort of your desk in your dwelling. You can now press the remote, and the remote transmission is with distance of 100 meters. Okay, only 100 meters on a clear space. So now this function of this remote is such that you press this other remote, you press the, I think I showed the pictorial view. Let me see again. Yeah, this is the pictorial view. You press the button to shut it down. Okay. Now the configuration of this remote is such that you press this button to activate this remote contact, remote coil, while the contact will shut down this and also shut down this. Then to activate this particular, to deactivate this particular logic. That's method one, in which you can shut down your genset. Method two is for your timer. Supposing you want to go out or you want to go to bed and you don't have a sufficient AGO that will carry you throughout daybreak operation. So what you need to do is to shut down the gen and you put on a timer. So you can now go to bed and put on a timer at a particular time, then gen set can shut down, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, it can also shut down. So you now activate the timer by pressing this button. Once you activate this timer, the time start counting. When the time elapses, this gen will shut down. So that the timer function, that is method two, in which you can shut down this particular genset. One is by pressing the remote control, remote button. You just sit at your comfort of your sitting room and press the remote. The genset will shut down. Another one is by activating another button that will activate the timer function. Then timer start counting. When the preset time elapse is completed, the genset will shut down. That is method two. Then method three is where you have this remote. This is YouTube. We have another one that is also YouTube function and the Wi-Fi function. This one is by pressing a button. Then we have it for Wi-Fi type. If you want to use Wi-Fi type, you also buy that same module. And then all you need to do is to install your to install the remote and also download the app. We download the app, you now have this particular module in your app, in your phone. So you open your phone and synchronize the Wi-Fi from your phone and the module Wi-Fi that you have. So this remote will be connected to Wi-Fi. This remote module will be connected to Wi-Fi. Your phone also will also connect to another router. So in that case, you can now open your phone and shut down the genset. You can also open your phone and start the genset. That is method three, in which you can incorporate to your shutting down function of your ATS. One, like I said before, one is by pressing remote to shut it down, pressing this button to activate this coil and knock off this contact and knock off this contact at the same time, simultaneously. Remember that the genset has a cool down function from the control panel. So when you shut down the contactor and also knock off the start signal, the genset will not shut down automatically. It will wait for few seconds, all right? Perhaps 3 minutes before shutting down or 2 minutes, depending on your configuration, okay? Now, that is two methods: by remote control to shut down your logic of ATS from your genset supply, or by timer function to shut down at a particular specific time. All right. Then the third method is by buying this particular remote and the Wi-Fi type. We have also Wi-Fi type. So that Wi-Fi will be connected to an internet device, internet enabled model. So your phone will also be having internet enabled. So both of them come there and you now open the app. So from the app, from your phone, you press a button that will shut down the genset. You can also open the app and press a button to also put on the genset. So that is three methods you can use to work on this. All right. So let's see if we can simulate and add these two fixtures that make different from the previous exercise that we just practiced. So let's put on the main supply. The mains is available now. After preset time of this timer, yes, I have output. This one has closed now. So this main supply is working. Okay. All right. I shut it down from here. Let me put on the utility genset supply. That is a standby. Okay, the standby is here. Now I want to shut it down. You know, conventionally, if I want to shut down this, it's subject to the availability of this. But now this one is not forthcoming, but I want to shut it down. So what I will do is either I go back to my ATS and press this button, or I use my remote. I press this remote. This one knock off and this one knock off. So the genset now shut down. If I release this remote again, the genset will come up again. So I use remote to shut down. I also use remote to put it on again. Now, supposing I want to go to bed or I want to go out and I want the gen to work like 3 hours or 4 hours, depending on how long duration that is needed, I can now activate a second switch, being this one. I activate this one and the timer start counting. When the time elapses, it will shut down this particular ATS utility. Look at it, it's done now. You see, this timer knock off here to create open circuit. Also knock off here to create another open circuit. So this timer is an integral part of this and this. And this remote is also having this and this. All right. Now, there's another feature I want us to discuss about, and that is a remote control. You know, in remote in outskirt town, outskirt city, you don't have utility. No, supposing I have two genset, two standby power. This is standby power and this also is standby power. And I want to ration both of them in operation. What do I do? See what you do? Very simple. There is a module called timer. Look at it here. Look at it here. It's another timer, a modular timer that can work throughout the week. You can also program it. It's a calendar timer. You can say, okay, on Monday, every Monday, this gen can come up. Monday till Friday, gen 1 can work. Then another Monday till Friday, another gen can work. Or you can also ration it. One of the gen set can work the day, and the second gen set can now work at night. So use this module to interface that particular function. You set this module to control gen 1, also set this one to control gen 2. Once it is in the morning, depending on the time set, it will send signal to the mains, the gen 1 to come up. Gen 1 will work at a specific time, it will shut down. Then another one of this one will also activate gen 2. So use this module controller, calendar timer to interface the two source of power. Okay, that is if you are using gen 1, gen 2 and you don't have utility. You are going to also design this ATS in this format. But what you need to do is for this Gen 1 to work